Hey, hopefully today we'll get some lights up in the studio. I have a weird shadow going on over here because my window's over there. And, I've got to mount the studio lights in here, but I need to wait for some help with that. But we're getting settled in here. This is a particularly kind of a spicy topic. And, I hate kind of feeding into this machine where, it seems like 2/3 of the media machine is concerned about 0.003% of the population. But this one really kind of really irritated me. I saw the story in the New York Post. I saw the story on Daily Wire. I saw the story floating all over the internet. And it's an article that says, finally herself, 10-year-old 10-year-old trans model whose parents are both also trans, is now a New York Fashion Week veteran. What are the odds? What are the odds of that? Like, somebody, I know I've got an autist in my viewership that could really run the percentages here. It has to be one in a zillion that it would naturally occur this way, is I guess what I'm saying. Or could it be possible that their parents encourage this? It seems like so many people, hashtag not all trans individuals, because I know there are plenty of based ones in my own viewership, and I'm sure they would agree with this, that you don't know this at 10. Come on, you don't know this at 10. You aren't cool or hip, but this, okay, this headline, in my opinion, is why it happens and why it's happening more. Oh, we get profiled in the newspapers. We get social media clout. Oh, we get a special table at this woke restaurant. People are screwing up their kids for clout. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am. I hope that all these situations where people are talking about, and then, oh, by the way, they also said they're going to cut them up, at the minute they turn 16. 16. They're going to have, life-altering surgeries. Why? Couldn't you wait? Most people don't even figure out who they are until their mid-20s these days, because they're coddled deep into their early 20s. They don't have to go work in a union factory at 16 years old to help their family at the same rate that they used to. They're allowed to take forever to grow up. Instead of, having to, become adults and get after it right away. The minute I could get a job, my parents drove me to the courthouse where I got a work permit so I could work, so I could get the things that I wanted. My parents busted their humps to give me everything we needed, me and my sister. But for things that I wanted, I had to work for it. And I credit them for the work ethic I have today, for the, understanding the value of $1, as I have a massive collection of Nintendo games behind me. That was a cell phone. But you get what I'm saying. Parents say they're going to make sure their kid gets the cuts at 16. Noella McMahon, and by the way, not the kid's fault. Think about this. This is what's so predatory about this. If you tell an 8, 9, 10-year-old something, and you're their mom and dad, they're going to believe you, aren't they? Maybe this is the one in a zillion scenario where both parents happen to be trans and they also happen to have a trans kid. Maybe this is the $1 billion Powerball winning ticket. Okay? I doubt it. They've been hyped on social media as the world's youngest trans model. Wow, I wonder why they're doing it. Was socially transitioned at the age of 4 and had a legal name change at 7. I'm not exactly sure I can think of a better word for this, right? Like, what is this? What word is coming to your mind right now? It's been nearly 3 years since the Chicago parent profile, but it's unclear if Noella is already on blockers which critics say is tantamount to castration, chemical. And this kid is going to have their top and bottom surgeries at 16. Dee claims Noella was aware at the age of 2. She would refuse to wear boys' clothes and have tantrums because she was so young. She knew what she wanted, but didn't have the words to say it, the mother said to LGBTQ Nation, another interview. I should have known earlier. Then 2? As she hated anything masculine, so I brought her to a gender clinic. As highlighted by the Daily Wire, the child recently participated in the Mel Atkinson-designed trans clothing company in New York City. Noella doesn't really get nervous or scared by anything. She's a tiny professional, Dee gushed. Oh, and you're going to turn your kid into a child actor? That always works out great. We're proud of her for being the first trans child in New York Fashion Week. Are you kidding me? The kid's 10. Should be playing in the sandbox or playing with, friends. And of course, the 10-year-old is also already a trans activist. She's very outspoken and an amazing advocate for other trans kids, Dee said. It's great that she can provide this visibility on a global scale. She's showing them that it's beautiful. These parents are messed up. All children want to please their peers. The comments. All children want to please their parents, and this is exactly what's happening. Any adult involved in this should be criminally charged. Ever notice how moms are the most excited about it? And to think back in the 90s, I would have to send a doctor's note to the school for high school's age sons to have Tylenol or ibuprofen with them during the day. That's actually true. I remember that. The quote from the mother should sound more like, I'm so special because my child decided to be trans at age 2 after I instructed him that he wasn't a boy, but really a girl. What's wrong with parenting these days? You just can't take your kid to a gender clinic because they don't want to wear a certain type of clothing. At 2, my son dropped his pants and left a number 2 in the backyard because he saw my dog do it. If I were at all sensitive to this highly developed sense of self-image, I would have changed his name to Fido and raised him as a canine. Sorry, son, I just didn't know. I mean, like, they're going to have, like, surgery at 16. And by the way, have you seen there is a, just the other day, hold on a second. There is a woman suing. This is just yesterday. This is what I'm saying. Just wait. All right. Look, I don't know because I don't have dysphoria. Okay. And I understand that it's a real thing and I am sensitive to that. But can't we have a middle ground where, like, maybe before you have life altering surgeries, you should wait a little bit? I mean, I guess at 18, because if you can go serve in my opinion is if you can go serve your country, you can do whatever you want. But like this stuff is like, look at this article. Woman sues psychiatrists for approving gender transition after just one meeting. You have no idea how many more of these is going to happen. All these kids, all these parents who are taking their kids to chop up their bodies, okay? These kids are gonna start, the numbers are going up now. We're seeing all these hospitals get caught, approving this kind of stuff. And these kids are gonna be 25 years old and they're gonna look down at their bodies and say, what did I do? And you know who is responsible for it? The parents. Because it's your job to protect your child from making bad decisions as long as you possibly can. Okay. My mom still tries, like when I built this house, she was still like constantly be like, "Ooh, I don't know. Like, what if the economy, maybe everything I do, she's still trying to mother me." That's what moms do. They don't say, "Yeah, you're 15. You should chop off your, slice off your bobs. That's cool. Let's post it on Instagram." It's sick. Are there some people out there that genuinely need it? Yes. I believe that is true. And I know maybe some of my viewers don't. I don't know. But I think we can all agree that there is something very weird going on with these parents, and it needs some attention. If you enjoyed this video, please click that red subscribe button down below. I would greatly appreciate it. We'll talk to you again real soon.